Hello YouTube. Welcome in everyone. Welcome in. Today we're talking about when earning money becomes as easy as breathing, divine feminine spiritual business mastery. I'm super excited to have you guys here. This is going to be a limited time training. So I'm going to do this live here for everyone on YouTube with chat access for my members. And then once the CEO Boss Queen enrollment period is over, I'm gonna make this a bonus in the Feminine Business Course Mastery and then make it for members only. So make sure that you guys get as much out of these trainings as you want to. I'm gonna be doing a couple of these, probably about 3 of these trainings. So welcome in. Let me know that you can hear me and see me in the comments, and we're going to get started. So, what I want to talk about first is seasons of life, which you guys know I covered extensively in my Lady Balls book. How that relates to creating from the feminine, and then I'm going to talk about the enrollment period opening for CEO Boss Queen. I only open enrollment once or twice a year for this course, and then I'm going to talk about what is this year's bonus because I always do a bonus every time I open up enrollment. So, super excited to get in there. Today I'm drinking, this is hibiscus sparkling water. It's from LaCroix mixed with, I crushed some raspberries in there and then added the sparkling water. I learned that kind of stuff from Alina, my daughter, because she's like super into like girly things like that. And so she's got me like crushing blueberries into stuff. And yeah, so this is for Alina. Mm. Makes it just like a little bit extra special, you know? So, yes, one thing that I see on the online space a lot is something that I want to address because it falls into sort of the basic babe realm. And you guys know that 97% of people on social media are going to fall into the basic babe realm. These are the people arguing and fighting with each other in the comments. Like, that's why it just seems like when you go online, like everything's extreme and everything's crazy. That's why, right? So when we have self-aware Barbies showing up and looking all this crazy, it can create some confusion and they can like being that women are so um, influenced by the grids that we plug into, it can create like distortion in your grid, even though you're doing all the right things that you're supposed to be doing. So what I see online is people saying, boss babes are great, and then seeing boss babes are out, trad wives are in, and then trad wives end up homeless. Boss babes are good. It's always like this extreme thing of like either you have to choose this or you have to choose that. And here's how you know it's coming from basic babe consciousness. Remember how I taught you guys that basic babe and basic boy, depending on male or female, their consciousness is very much rooted in like their inner child, but like the wounded inner child. And if you guys are parents or if you have nieces and nephews, then you know that little children when they outgrow something, they almost have to make it bad to be able to psychologically make it easier for them to move on. To give you an example of this, when a child is getting ready to outgrow their binky or outgrow their bottle, a lot of times the story and a lot of this is conditioning, but it's like, oh, binkies are bad, and you're a big boy now, or you're a big girl now, and binkies is there, binky yucky, bottles are yucky. It's almost like we're trying to help them cope with like moving on to the next level and like giving up something by teaching them that that thing was actually bad all along or like that thing is bad now. That's actually not good to teach children because it can create a lot of distortion. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with binkies or bottles. Both are absolutely necessary in the appropriate stage, right? Like, yeah, if you see a 68-year-old person having a binky or a bottle, like something's very seriously wrong with this person. But if you see a 2-year-old with a binky or a bottle, nothing's wrong with them, right? So this is something we want to be aware of. I've told this story before, but when Alina was little, she was like 2 years old around this time. we were going through like a big declutter, like top to bottom as a family of the entire house. And so I was teaching her what I had already taught my older boys, that, once you outgrow something, it's nice to give it up to another child in that age group that can get something out of it, and then use that open space to get yourself something more age appropriate, sort of teaching them healthy habits of like letting go and creating space for something new and better. So what I noticed with Alina was that when it was time for her to give something up, she would like try to cope by saying it's bad or like it's yucky. And I was like, well, it's not yucky. It's good. We love this. And it served us so well and we really enjoyed it. And it was so beautiful. And whatever the thing was, like we would talk about how that thing was amazing and how this amazing thing now gets to go on to another child or another baby or something, and how you get to get something even like more amazing that suits you better. And this was important for me to teach her because I didn't want her to have like negative feelings about something that she really cherished. And also, I don't want her to feel like just because we're outgrowing something, now that thing is bad, right? But I see a lot of women still stuck in that pattern. So when they needed to work, work was good and girl bossing was good, and being a stay-at-home mom was bad. Stay-at-home mom, bad. Evil. You get in trouble, right? It's like this very childish energy. But then if they get married and now they have to be a stay-at-home mom because they're having their babies, now girl bossing is bad. And I was delusional and that was so wrong. And now I've woken up and now I realize this is better. And now this is bad and girl bossing is bad. It's wrong. No one do this. It's yucky, right? But no, for another woman in a different season of life, it's good. Plus, don't say that because when your kids are in school, you're probably going to want to do something with your life. So, do you see what I'm talking about? We have this tendency of like this, it's very childish, of like whatever season of life we're outgrown, that's bad now, right? And whatever we're doing, it's perfect. It's so good. And then when we outgrow this, now we have to like make up a whole other story around it. So the reason that there is such a divide in like whether you should be a girl boss or a trad wife or a stay-at-home mom or a working mom or a single mom or a married mom or a rich mom or a poor mom is because they're all just different flavors of the divine feminine. And in one 80-year like lifespan of one woman, chances are that she's going to activate very many of those flavors. Let me just tell you, in my 43-year life, okay, I've activated being a single, like career woman going to school. And then I've also activated, ditching my corporate job and activating my first successful business and being a full-time student. And then I've even activated being married and then having a baby and then being the breadwinner in that relationship. And then I've activated getting a divorce and being a single mom, right? Then I got remarried and I was a stay-at-home mom. And then my kids were a little bit older and I had all this time and then I was a business mom. Now, it would be ridiculous of me to sit here and call any of those phases bad or dumb or stupid, but because that would be like the right side of my body cursing out the left side of my body, right? It's the same when I see people saying masculine energy is bad. Like, no, that's like your right eye saying your left eye is evil. We need all of these flavors, and all of these energies exist in all of us. And for those people that are calling girl bossing bad, they're just in a different season of life. Okay? Talked about seasons in here. Maybe they've outgrown that season. Maybe they have not activated it yet. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with you. You have to see what appropriate season of life you are in and what would be the most fulfilling thing? Do you like that I'm doing this in a row? But I didn't, I was gonna change for you guys, but then I'm like, we'll just do this in a row. So yes, it depends on what season of life you're in, right? Like, as I get older, I'm gonna be in different seasons, right? Maybe one day we're gonna be empty nesters, and then we're gonna be like young grandparents, and whatever the thing is, none of those things are bad. Okay? None of those things are right or wrong. It's just about you choosing the flavor that's right for the phase of life that you are in. Okay? For example, if I was in the season of life where I was having my babies, right? And I was trying to have a full-time job, and I was trying to start a business, and I was trying to be like, present at home, as you can imagine, that would be too many season or flavors for me to run at the same time, and my system might short circuit, right? That doesn't mean that any of those things are bad or wrong. It just means that I can't handle all of those things at that exact time. That would be like a city having, spring, summer, fall, and winter all in the same day. Now, we know some cities where that can try to happen, but it's like bipolar weather. And so you're having a bipolar season of life where you're trying to cram in too many seasons. And listen, okay, life is beautiful. And I know everyone says life is short. It's not that short. Yeah, it's short, but like you also get to do a lot of things. Like my mom's life was cut short, right? She only had 49 years on this planet. But she accomplished a lot in 49 years. She did a lot of stuff, okay? She went through a lot, she experienced a lot, and she had good times and bad times and seasons that she like knocked out of the ballpark and seasons that she flopped. But she, even in her short 49 years, she was able to experience a lot. So there is no reason for us to try to cram all of the freaking seasons of the divine feminine or all of the various flavors in this exact minute right now. Okay? There's no reason for that. You can pick and choose the ones that you can honestly and realistically do with enjoyment, with pleasure, without burning yourself out, and then save a couple things for later. Okay? Another thing that you can do is let go of some things that fit a different season that you're still trying to drag along. That can also help. So, this training is best for people that are in that season of life, okay? Whether it's before you had children or your children are a little bit older, where you're like, I'd like to do a little something different. I'd like to have a little bit of a business. Maybe I would like to infuse some extra juiciness into my existing career. Maybe you're going back to work. Maybe you're starting something new for the first time, but you're looking for doing it a little something different. You don't want to do, the cookie cutter formula maybe that you followed or your mom followed or society has told you to follow. Not that that was wrong, but again, that's not how you want to do it. You want to do it a little differently. You want to do it a little bit infused with magic and God and spirituality and supernatural and all of those things, right? Then this is going to be the training for you, right? When you are functioning in the appropriate season of life, you can start creating some magic and putting your energetic resources and channeling them into something beautiful that you want to create and build. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hello, everyone. Yoga said this is so true. It's about what you want and not making what you don't want bad, right? Or the worst is when you try to make what you've outgrown bad. Then you're essentially creating distortion, and it first of all you sound crazy because like you were just doing that a minute ago, right? Like if imagine if I was going around saying that having toddlers is bad, right? Aren't you going to call me out and say, Mina, you had toddlers like not too long ago, right? So that's not bad. I'm just not there yet because or still because now my children are older, and so that doesn't mean having toddlers was bad. It just means I've outgrown that season of life, right? And hopefully, someday I'll have toddler grandchildren to play with, but like that's not my reality as of right now. And so that doesn't mean that's bad. I've just outgrown it at this moment. Yes, love that. Aliyah said, I only follow artists and inspiring content. Thanks, Mina, for blessing me with the knowledge to not have the energy for it. My still uses bottles and pacifiers at 2, naturally outgrowing it. Beautiful. Can I share something with you, Elia? So I had a both a pacifier, which I used to call Noonie, and a bottle until I was 5. So, you know, took me that long to outgrow those things, and there's nothing wrong with that. So there's always an appropriate time to outgrow things when it's right. That doesn't mean it was bad. And so I love that your baby still has pacifiers and bottles, and I love that stage so much, and I'm so happy for you. Kayla said it's funny when you put it that way. I definitely fell into that back in black and white thinking, and it got me nowhere. Yes, I see people arguing about this. I love the way you said black and white thinking, right? Irfan says that most people and most things are like in life fall somewhere in the gray zone, right? No one's like completely evil. Well, demons are, but you know what I mean. Like most people are not completely evil or completely saints. They're somewhere in the middle. Most life experiences are somewhere in the middle. And so, yes, we have to stop demonizing divine feminine flavors. The divine feminine is here to play, and she's going to play with all the flavors. So it's on you to make peace with all of the flavors and know that different women will be in different seasons, including you, at different points in life. Yeah, someone said right, or Christian said agreed, right. We have to let phases go lovingly. Yep. And sometimes they come back around as well. Like right now, like I feel like, well, actually, I don't know if I have something to relate to at this point, but I have seen some flavors also come around. I know what I'm talking about. Like, for example, women that are married and like they don't have children yet. And then when they have like empty nest syndrome, it's kind of like that phase again of like having all this free time and relearning like who they are. So some seasons come back around for a second go for you to do a little bit differently. So you don't want to demonize any seasons because when it comes back, what are you going to be like, he, just kidding? Like what? Yeah, Chicago can definitely be bipolar. I feel you. I'm in the season of raising kids, but now want to start a business. Beautiful, right? So you can be at the intersection or transition point of two seasons. There is plenty of women that like ran both of those seasons at the same time, even. Whereas there's other women, they're like, no, 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 I can't, I can only do the mommy season at one at a time. That all of it is great, right? It's just different. It's just different. Some people metabolize stress differently. Some people metabolize multitasking differently. So you have to be really honest with yourself of how many things you can really truly do at the same time while still giving them everything that you want to give it. Because if you resonate with my content and my personality, chances are you're not the type of person that half-asses things, right? So I know me, I can't try to do too many things at once because I'm generally not going to be happy with the quality that I put out. So because I know this with myself about myself, I'm honest and I'm like, okay, Mina, this is what you can handle right now. Like you have to be honest, right? I'm in my minimalist season. Ooh, I love that, Erica. I remember that season very well in my life. That's such a fun season. Wow, age 5, that's comforting to hear. Thank you for this advice. Yes. And you know, when doctors had a whole bunch of things to say about Ayan not giving up his binky until he was 4, like I was a little bit more understanding about that because I'm like, well, I didn't really give those things up until I was 5, so he's 4, so it'll be fine. Like I survived. I'm fine, you know? Cameras in my head again, Mina. I just started over and living alone, acquiring certification, and it's hustle season for me now. Planting heavy for harvest. God is taking me through so many lessons. Beautiful. And you know what? As hard as this season can seem, sometimes not that it's hard for you. I'm just saying sometimes it can seem hard. I don't think there's anything wrong with hustling. I don't think there's anything wrong with working hard. I had to do those things at certain points in my life. Yes, eventually it did lead me to burnout, but I was a single mom. I had to finish school. I really value education. I had to run my business. Like I had to do what I had to do, and I have no regrets or no resentments towards that period because it was a part of my journey. So, you know what? More power to you. Sometimes life throws us the kind of lessons where we have to hustle a bit. In the season of raising a toddler business, love that toddler business. CEO boss queen vocabulary right there. Yes, I am in that season of my life where I'm ready to be seen and start my feminine business. Marika, that is awesome. So I'm going to take this opportunity, perfect transition, to talk about the CEO Boss Queen. So my CEO Boss Queen course is something I started years ago, and I've been adding content to it for the last few years, and it has over 50 hours of trainings currently on the energetics of starting a business, to growing a business, scaling a business. So it takes you from start to six figures to seven figures to eight figures. So it will see you through all the seasons of a business. And I even use the vocabulary of having, being pregnant with a business versus having a newborn business versus a toddler business. So I use that vocabulary that's really going to resonate with you as a woman. And every year, I open the cart for Boss Queen either once or twice. And I don't know how many times I'm going to do it, but this is the first time I'm opening the cart in 2024. And every year I like to offer a bonus, something special to make the enrollment period extra fun and extra delicious. And I was really thinking, I'm like, what do I want to do this year? And what came up was offering you a $3,333 scholarship towards the program. So we just opened the cart this morning and I've already applied the scholarship for you. So when you go online, you see the timer. If the timer is still running, that means that you can, get the scholarship. It's already applied, no code needed. And what you get is when you enroll, you get immediate access to the over 50 trainings. And when you start in the beginning, it's going to start rewiring your brain, teaching you new ways of being. People that have taken the course before, the alumni, the CEO Boss Queen alumni, talk about it changing every area of their life. Their experiences with sisterhood, with business, with selling, relationships, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. With money, there's just so much in there. And because it was filmed at different seasons of my own journey, like wherever you are, even if you're like at seven figures trying to scale to eight figures, like it's that course has you. There's something in there for everyone. And even at the stages that you've already completed, there's still going to be energetics in there that will change the way you're doing something. Maybe you're making something a little bit harder than it needs to be. Maybe you're doing something, still the old paradigm way. Maybe there is a way to upgrade something to even more alignment and even more flow. Wherever you are, it will meet you there. So that's what I have for you guys today. We've opened the cart enrollment period for 4 days. And what else did I want to say? If you go to the checkout page, there are extended payment plans available, even with this extraordinary price, with Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, and PayPal for pay, I think it's called. So there's four ways that you can get extended payment plan options if that's your vibe, if you are still in the process of manifesting it. But otherwise, if you have had your eyes or your heart set on this, now is the time to get it because I've never done a scholarship like this before on this program. So questions that you have about the CEO Boss Queen course, I'll be happy to answer that. What I'll do is in a minute, I'll open the cart for all subscribers. I'm sorry, the chat to all subscribers so that if anyone has a question about CEO Boss Queen, we can answer that for you. Also, my team is always available at support@theuniverseguru.com. And if you have questions about the course, additionally, my team can take care of you. Let me see what you guys are saying. Paula said, yes, I'm reprogramming that when I'm doing something that is not me now, I stop and remember I have full potential for everything, that I can now be conscious to just choose whatever is appropriate. I love that. Yes, because the truth is, it's you don't want to be hating on something that you might actually need to be activating later on because now you're in that consciousness. Or I also don't like the feeling of demonizing something that we once loved because we needed that. That's why you will never see me demonize masculine energy because I needed that. Like my son and I couldn't have survived my single motherhood, and even before I had him, I couldn't have survived my childhood sexual abuse without masculine energy, like my own masculine energy. So I'm not gonna sit here and demonize something that literally changed my life and saved my life. I have a life because of masculine energy, right? That's why so many women have troubles with empty nest syndrome and keep helicopter parenting adult children, can't let go of the seasoned beliefs that, yes, Kiki, I hear you on that. It's time for a new way of engaging with your adult family members. Yeah, that was a transition for me too. So let me, full transparency, Kiki, when Armand turned 18, he's 19 now, 19 and a half actually. He turned 18 as if he turned 25. He wanted to be so independent, go do all these crazy things. And Irfan and I were left like blindsided. We did not know how to handle it at all because we thought like, oh, he's 18, he's still like a teenager, right? Nope. Mm-mm. Like he full blasted out like a rocket out into the world, and we had to quickly learn how to manage our relationship. And it was super hard. Irfan and I had to coach each other because we kept treating him like he's two when he's like now like living and acting like he's 25. And so it was a little bit of a transition. Armand had to help us too. He had to like help us a little bit and offer us grace. But yes, I see parents, raising their 30-year-olds still because they can't get over that season of life. Thank you so much for this, Mina. Was recently looking at spirituality and money. Yeah, that I feel like it's the only way to do money is through spirituality. I can't like any other way is just so much survival, and obviously we need that, but like at this point in my life, like I only want to do money spiritually because the survival part luckily is like check. What's one meditative or spiritual practice that can easily improve money flow? So before I answer this question, let me say a little something about that. I personally do not like questions like this. And the reason is this is what I've taught my children. It's never one thing. It's never one thing. In fact, this is how people get scammed when they think it's one thing. This is like one of the core principles that I've taught my kids. I've told them if someone says to you, drink this is my Victoria's Secret lotion, but let's say that it was some kind of a potent. Drink this and all of your problems will be solved. You'll have clear skin and you'll be immortal and you'll have long glossy hair and you'll never have to do inner work and blah, blah, blah. That's probably a scam because in real life, things don't work that way. It just doesn't, right? For example, you can't only survive on water. You also need food, you also need air, you also need good social relationships, you also need sleep. So real life will be a combination of a few different things that you're doing consistently. Like that's just the reality of life. And because of that, I really don't like the one thing syndrome, the one thing kind of questions, because it just feels super spammy for me to even answer those. Chances are it's not going to be one thing. It's going to be a combination of small things that you are able to do consistently that will compound them. Okay. Having said that, let me do my best to try to answer that. What's one meditative or spiritual practice that can easily improve money flow? I feel like I can't even answer that because there's so many different components and nuances of it. And the thing is, if I even try to, it's not going to make sense to you because in order to do that thing, it's like 10 different things. I would say surrendering your life as a channel to God. Most people are going to be like, huh? What does that mean, right? because you have to do inner work and like sleep well and like have a full belly and like all these other things to even get to that point. So that's why I don't love those kind of questions. I involve God in everything I do, so maybe that's the one answer. Kayla said, I have CEO Boss Queen on my vision board for 2024. I'm so excited for this. Is there an average of minimum business revenue required? No. In fact, the first couple of lessons start with you doing practices that will help you decide what maybe you don't know what you want to do as this business. It will help you narrow it down. If you already have a business, it will help you niche down to the parts that you like and letting go the parts that you don't. So it's so frequency based that it will meet you exactly where you are, whether you're making $0, six figures, seven figures, or eight figures. Maybe one day I'll add the nine-figure blueprint in there, but right now the course takes you to eight figures. I haven't been to nine figures in my business, so that's why I don't have that yet, but one day I will. I'm in my dating for marriage season, also rethinking my career and starting my own business. Beautiful. I love that we are all in different seasons and but we can still connect as women and we can still, connect over our love for self-improvement, personal development, energetic spirituality. We don't all need to be in the same season of life. They're all valid. Welcome, Manifestation. Interesting name to Level Up Queens. I was also thinking of surrendering to God, maybe staying open to receiving the answer tailored to you specifically from God and spiritual guides. Yes. Instead of saying, what's the one thing? A better question might be, what's the one thing I need to do right now to make the biggest impact? Because when you say it that way, it gets custom tailored to you. Because there's not no one infinite big thing, but there could be one infinite next step for you right now? That is a question I ask myself because there might be something. Now, something that comes in through for what I need to do, you might have already done that in your life. So if I tell you that, you might be like, well, I've already mastered that. Yes, because maybe I haven't mastered that yet. And that's my next level, right? Or maybe the thing that comes up for me is so far beyond where you are that you're like I can't even think of doing that. Like I need to be doing something smaller. That's why we want to customize it to our next level. Yeah. I'm gonna open up the chat right now. Um, do you guys have any questions about, oh, let me actually talk a little bit about when earning money becomes as easy as breathing. Duh, that's the title of the thing. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute, then I'll open up the chat. Meanwhile, our group members, put your questions if you want me to address them before they get lost in everyone else's comments and questions. When you are moving appropriately in the season that you are in, okay? Life, romance, love, health, parenting, wifing, money, business will become as easy as breathing. When it becomes challenging is when, for example, if you're in the parenting little kid season and you're watching content out there that are all about girl bossing, you're gonna start because of the way women have evolved and because we are so sensitive to other grids, you're gonna start thinking there's something wrong with you, that you're not doing enough, that you're lazy, that you need to open a business right this minute, and you're gonna feel lost, right? Because you're comparing yourself to a season of life that you're not in right now. And now parenting will start seeming hard because you're trying to add to it all of this other stuff that isn't necessarily your season of life. Same thing as if when you're happily married and like you're for some reason consuming like red pill content, and all of a sudden, like you're feeling icky about your decisions as a married woman or what you bring to the table in your union or whatever, right? Like, first of all, you can never be in the red pill season of life because you're not a man, you're a woman, right? So, wrong content. You are not the target audience of that content. So, what I've seen in my life is that things were hard when I was trying to do too many seasons of life at the same time, and they were all jumbled up, and I was pretty much flopping at all of them. But every time I've maintained and lived and made the most of the season of life that I'm in and stop and like not look at other grids, only look at the people that are in my grid, like they're doing the things that I'm doing, right? They're in that niche, things become easier, right? Because now it's like I'm in like-minded people that are in similar seasons doing similar things. Like we might be doing it in different ways, but it's not like completely different where I'm like, oh, I need to be hustling and I'm over here breastfeeding, right? Like, no, you need to be breastfeeding because that's the season of life you're in. So that's when it becomes hard when you're trying to do too many things. The season of life that I'm in right now, making money, being in a loving romantic relationship, parenting, the things that are most important to me, the few things are as easy as breathing because I know what I don't need to be looking at. I know what grids not to be following. I know what advice is not meant for me. And I know exactly what zone, which lane I need to stay in. So that is going to be like my number one advice in this training is that you need to first figure out what grid you're in. And because I'm an inner work teacher, a lot of people consider me a spiritual mentor, and I do cater to women of all age groups, right? I have had clients all the way from 14 into their 80s, right? And because of that, I do touch on all the seasons. So sometimes you see me doing relationship videos, and sometimes you see me doing hauls, and sometimes you see me talking about parenting, and other times I'm talking about girl bossing, and sometimes I'm talking about being surrendered as a wife, because all of those things are divine feminine flavors. None of those things are bad, and somewhere, someone in my audience needs to hear about those different flavors. But at no time am I saying that you, specifically you right now, at this moment, need to be in any one season. You need to be in the season that you need to be in. And you need to have discernment to know what season you're in. And I'll tell you guys the page. If anyone else can beat me to it, let me know. But I'll tell you where this is. So it's called the Having It All Blueprint, page 108. Okay, so it's chapter 5 in my Lady Balls book. I have laid out all of the seasons for you. Okay, the intention of these seasons is not to make you feel bad, okay? They're just giving you a blueprint. So what I don't want is you reading them and saying, oh no, I skipped this season, or oh no, I was supposed to be in this season, but I'm in this season, or I skipped this season, or I never did this one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because all of the flavors of the divine feminine reside in you. Whether you are 12 watching this, which this is not, this channel is not meant for children. You shouldn't be watching this, okay? It's 18 and up. But whether you are 12 or in your 90s or even in your hundreds, okay? You have all the divine feminine flavors. If you look at this and you're like, "Oh my God, I skipped this one season." Okay? And you feel like you want to do it now? Do it. Do it. It's never too late. Do it, okay? You can still do that season. In fact, maybe you don't even like the concept of the seasons being tied to any particular era or any age group, which they're not, by the way. I just laid them out a certain way. But let's say you're like, you know what? I'm 53 and I'm going to pretend like I'm a teenager and I just found this book and I'm just going to go through them as if I'm a teenager and I'm doing them from the beginning. You could do that because we're making up the rules over here. We get to do it any way we want to. You could do that, okay? Or you could be 19 and you're reading this book and you're like, you know what? I like this, but I'm gonna skip that era. That's just not for me, okay? So you do the first one, the second one, skip the third one, and go to the fourth one. Guess what? Still valid. That's your journey. This is just a blueprint. I wrote this blueprint for my daughter, okay? And even her, I told her, listen, babe, like this is a guide, okay, from your mama, okay? Your mama with her life experience, with her education, with her knowing what she knows to be true, wrote this, okay? It's not the gospel from God, okay? It's not the only way. But if you so desire, you can use this as guidance. You can customize it, but use this as guidance. Now, she knows that there's evolutionary history in this. So she knows my education, and she knows that if I put this in there, that I can back it up with science. So that's why she likes this blueprint. Yes, she knows about these, okay? Oh my God, I was filming a Get Ready with Me before I did this live stream where I shared the story of how Alina called me a pick me, and she was right, by the way. This happened a few weeks ago. I shared that story in that vlog. I'll post it this weekend. It's hilarious. But yes, so she understands this stuff and she knows where I'm coming from. But let's say, 10 years down the road, there's something in here where she's like, you know what? I know why mom wrote this and I get it, but this one thing I'm not going to do. Fine. Love that. Okay. This is not a jail. Okay. This is not dogma. It is just a template. It's a guide that you get to customize. So that's what I want to say about that. This book is available at Barnes and Noble, Target, Amazon, obviously. It's available worldwide. You can walk into any of your local bookstores and ask them to order it for you. It's on Kindle, all of the ebook methods. It's on Audible. It's in paperback. It's in hardcover. It also comes with a journal. So yeah, you can grab that. Okay, anything else coming up before I open up the chat? I want to make sure that our members get their questions answered first. If we can keep it to the topic at hand, I would greatly appreciate it. I don't want to open up too many windows that we can't close in this training. Hi, Naz. Happy to have you. I'm in my baby making season, but also feeling passionately like it's now the time to lay the foundation for my new business from home. My husband supports everything I do. Is it possible? Absolutely. In fact, that's what you're being guided to do. I would absolutely do that. I would absolutely do that. Oh, hi. We've got Arman in the chat. Hello, Arman. So Arman, I just opened up my cart for CEO Boss Queen. Today is the first day of enrollment period. um, Putting you on the spot totally, but I know that you have like a wealth reading that you do for human design. Can you give us some kind of a special or some kind of a sizzle for like a CEO boss queen flavor of a reading? If you already have one, let us know. But if not, make something for us. So if someone's like looking to start a business, I know you have a wealth reading, right? Is there something that you can offer that's like zoomed in? For those of you guys don't know, King of Manifestation is my son Armand, and he does these bomb potent human design readings. They are next level. Like 80% of his clients like cry on the reading and then go bring their husband, their coworkers, their sister, their children, and do like mass readings. Like everyone's getting their readings. So when I had the Rich and Romance intensive, Armand was nice enough to offer like a Rich and Romance like custom reading. And I'm wondering if you want to match our CEO Boss Queen with a reading. I'm totally putting you on the spot, but I'm sure you can come up with something. Emily said if that reading exists, I already bought it in spirit. Kabibi said, ladies, get your human design reading by Mina's son. You will cry. You would use it as a guide. Refer to it often. Oh my God. Thank you, Kabibi. I appreciate you. Armand said, indeed, I can make something for you guys. Oh my God, Armand, I have to tell you something. So yesterday, I was being interviewed by one of my students. Her podcast is called Pearls of Wisdom. Armand, I don't know if you know, I don't know if I can say her name because I didn't ask her permission, but she was okay with me plugging her podcast in my interview. So I think it should be live soon on her podcast. Anyways, she was saying that she had a reading with you and she said it was a game changer for her. So I told her I would let you know. So anyways, just wanted to let you know. I'll text you her name later in case you don't know her podcast name. You guys are so cute. Kabibi and Arman are so cute. You guys. I'll throw in Arman's email too in the chat. Any other questions, ladies, about what we're talking about? Oopsie. Before I open up the chat to everyone. Well, not everyone, only our subscribers. So, Arman, if you can call it your CEO boss queen reading, then that way they'll know exactly which one it is. Was wondering where you went. Oh, you guys were talking to each other. Sorry to interrupt. Okay, let me see if I missed any questions. One season at a time, that's so affirming. People are astounded at how hard I'm working, but it feels so easy to me. I love my season. That's another thing, too, that you can never judge someone else's hardness because someone else could be doing something that you consider hard work from a relaxed state, right? So I've like shared this story so much, but I'll share it with you. Again, I have a brother-in-law who is a brain surgeon who thinks what I do is really hard. Uh, mm, yeah, I don't know if I would call what I'm doing hard as compared to brain surgery, right? But to me, brain surgery sounds really painful and hard, okay? And that's not something I think I could do or would want to do, right? But because he's used to what he does and that's his craft and his mastery and he's good at it, that's easy for him. Because he's never live streamed on YouTube, he thinks that's crazy and that's hard. So that's why we're not good at judging someone else's hard. Thank you for freeing me from either or thinking. Oh my God, this is such a big dilemma in today's society, isn't it? Where we feel like there's only two options and they both kind of suck, right? Like I see people doing this all the time, that there's only two options, they both kind of suck, and you're stuck choosing those. And then sometimes I'm just like, is there another option? Like, could there be? Like, I don't know, just very curious, don't know. And it's like a light bulb goes on. Mina, I feel like I'm longing for a season of life if I'm not in yet. How do I cope? If you're longing, could it be a desire showing up? Could it be you're like kind of being summoned? You know how I always talk about being summoned by your future self? So, one way to think about it is that is there a way that you can activate that desire in small ways? The thing is that a lot of us grew up in masculine paradigms where we think the only way to have a desire is when it's done. It's like we want to skip the journey part and just be at the end goal. Oh my God, Arman, you're gonna laugh. You're not gonna believe I'm using this as an example. Okay, so Ayan keeps calling me out every time I act like I'm sharing this for the first time. He's like, Mom, you've literally told me that like 20 times. And I'm like, oh no, I'm that old person now that keeps sharing the same damn story and thinking it's the first time. Oh my God, what happened? Okay, so anyways, uh, when we're about to eat something yummy, and for some reason I do this every time and think I'm doing it for the first time, and now my kids won't even laugh because I've done it so much. I'm always like, yummy, get in my tummy. And then my kids can like recite this verbatim now. What happens is when I start doing it, they start saying the next lines, and I'm like, you guys have heard this before? And they're like, yeah, you say this every time. And I'm like, oh no, I'm that person now. So I'll say, yummy, get in my tummy. And then I'll say, no, actually, don't get in my tummy, get in my mouth. Because if you're in my tummy, it means the fun's already over. Okay? And then Ayan adds, he says, and then you say, usually by the time you're in my tummy, I'm usually bloated, which means it's definitely not fun. And I'm like, God, you guys, why do you have that memorized? Okay, stop it. So now this is kind of like how I see people doing desires is you think when the thing is already in the bank or the honeymoon's period's over or you're already dead, that means the thing's manifested. But chances are the fun's already gone by then. So like enjoy the journey, like the anticipation of it, the planning of it, the working towards it, because that's usually when it's more fun anyways. That's like saying, food, get in my tummy, but like my taste buds reside in my mouth. So like I need to eat it and like chew it first, right? Arman, are you sure that I've said this like a million times? Because Ayan keeps insisting that I say this like every time. Uh, what is he talk? What do you guys say about the different kinds of hard? Emily said, yes, I worked 80-hour weeks often in my doula business, but it was so aligned. It didn't feel like hard work at all. I just let people be impressed. Yes, but for someone else, maybe 2 hours in their job a day could be like destroying them because they're not doing it from a relaxed state. Oh my God. I forgot that there were ads on YouTube. Armand said that he missed what I said because there was ads. Because we paid the, what is it, 9.99 for the ad free. And I actually forgot that there were ads on YouTube because we've had that for a while. So a couple months ago, someone was saying that ads are so annoying on YouTube. And I was like, there's ads on YouTube? And they were like, aren't you on YouTube? And I was like, yeah. And then they were like, don't you get paid by AdSense? And I'm like, oh, right. I just forgot because we pay the 9.95, 9.99 for no ads. Yes. Okay, okay. So other people are subscribed to it too. It's so crazy. I feel as though I've watched your children grow. I remember when your daughter was 4. I was actually pregnant with Alina and doing YouTube. So a lot of you guys probably remember me being pregnant with her as well. So yes, I know what you mean because I do feel like that you guys have been like extended aunts and uncles for my kids. Truly. Goddess said that she got YouTube Premium just so she could watch me without ads. Yeah, those ads were just getting really annoying. Especially you guys know that Irfan and I like to watch Pakistani dramas, and there are a lot of them on our YouTube, and we're like, we can't keep doing this ad. Did I put like I was trying to do a get ready with me, and I think I put like too much concealer on. I'm still getting used to like doing my makeup on camera. Okay, I'm gonna open this chat up to subscribers so I can answer CEO Boss Queen students. I mean questions, not students. Custom. Okay, I think that should have done it. Questions about the CEO Boss Queen card opening. Oh my God, I've been talking about it and I haven't even given you guys the links. So by the way, ladies, the links are in the description box as always for my makeup and everything. I'll put this robe too. I was planning on wearing a dress, so I had that linked and then I like didn't. I just wore the robe. So here is the CEO Boss Queen link. Hello everyone. Hi Jody Ann. I haven't seen you in a minute. Mom, did you realize you started YouTube when I was 5? You were about 30, which is the average time period you become a sixth profile in your human design. I think that's fascinating. Were you 5 when I started YouTube? By the way, I think you guys know our moms in the chat. Oh my God. I started my YouTube in January of 2011. Yeah, it's really weird How like I was so following my human design without even knowing the word human design. So yeah, it is really interesting. It was like I was following my blueprint to a T without even knowing. That's why I do think human design is so powerful. Even though I'm not really into other personality profiles and things like that, human design is where it's at. I'm from Iran, fascinated by your content. You're the best. Thank you, Legend. Appreciate that. I am life path number 5. Jody Ann says, I've been studying in my grid. Smart woman, smart woman. Um, uh, Erican, I think I missed your question. Can you share how you let yourself be talent and delegated to your team? Yes, I think is that in CEO Boss Queen? It would be in the later, like in the eight, like the top 1% series in the later part. I started fully activate. Everything in my life has happened in layers. Let me step back and say that first. So it wasn't like I woke up one day and I'm like, I'm the talent, hand over everything. I had to work through it. I had to overcome a lot of things. I had to integrate new ways of being. I had to call in team support that just made it easy. So it was definitely a layered process with for me, just like everything else. Most things in my life has been activated in like layers. And I appreciated that because I don't think I had the container to do it in one go. Mina, have you experienced setting masculine containers for a business in layers, in and out, before actually starting the business, or is it self-sabotage? I did everything in my business in layers as well as my life. Um, Sometimes I would self-sabotage just to learn certain lessons. As long as you're able to extract the lesson, work through it, learn what you have to do, and like normalize the thing quickly, you're good. Don't, everyone's gonna self-sabotage. Everyone's gonna do it. There's nothing wrong with self-sabotaging. What you don't want to do is keep self-sabotaging the same thing over and over again because what that means is that you're not actually integrating the lesson that was supposed to come. Yeah. Guys, can we please, please, please keep the comments to CEO Boss Queen? That's what I opened the chat for. This is why I don't keep the chat open to everyone because the comments just go all crazy and it's very hard to have a cohesive conversation about one topic. Mina, how much masculine energy do you have to use in being CEO boss queen? Depends on where you're at. So if you're in the beginning of your CEO boss queen journey, you're probably going to have to use at least 30-40% because you haven't set up the automations and the structures yet that help you remain more in your feminine. If you're at the level that I'm at, probably 5% masculine energy because your team, your structures, your SOPs are carrying more of the masculine load for you. So it would depend on what season of your business you're in. Mina, I'm still going through Basic Babe Bundle. I think I'm level 1 self-aware Barbie. I always feel like certain courses are too big for me. What's the best starting point for CEO Boss Queen? The best starting point, I would say, is when you have the desire to purchase it. Here's why. Remember that you have lifetime access to all of my courses. So even if you purchased it now and got only like 10% of what I'm talking about in there, next year you would get 30%. The following year, you'd get 80%. And so don't be scared of buying the books, the courses, speaking to the people that seem far away because you don't know how long you can bridge the gap. Like you can collapse time. Being in their presence or buying the book or being in the course can help you quantum leap after out of a level versus if you just like stayed in your level. So I think with the CEO Boss Queen, there's no harm in like I know with some courses I'm like no 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 you definitely need to be at this level. With CEO Boss Queen, it's 50 hours of digital content. So you're just kind of listening to it in the background of your life. It's frequency based. There's some things you can put right away, some things you can say, interesting, when I'm at that level, I'd like to do that. So I don't think there's anything wrong with buying it at any point, as long as you have the ability to work independently. If you're the kind of person where you need someone to hold your hand all the time, meaning you're simply just in basic babe all the way through, no activation of self-aware Barbie, none of my courses will work for you. They just won't. You're better off going to a therapist because a therapist will listen to you and guide you in the way that you're able to receive. And in that case, we actually have a 10% code for you for a discount off 1 month of coaching. I did coaching for the first time in my life with BetterHelp, and I had a very positive experience with them and my wonderful therapist. So years later, when they contacted me, I said yes to their affiliate program, even though I don't, you guys know I don't do affiliates. So I'm still a big uh, kind of sponsor with BetterHelp because a lot of my students have had a lot of good luck with them as well, just like I did. Just got chills. Thank you for saying that. Absolutely, babe. So funny. CEO Boss Queen, my channel tagline is Welcome to my queendom. I love that. Is that a nudge from the universe to make this mine? Girl, it's never going to be at a better price. Like, this is the biggest scholarship I've ever offered at this. So I'm just saying, if it's been calling you, better be smart and grab it now. I'm gonna throw the chat. It is in the description, but I'll throw it again. And then Arman is kind enough to make us a special custom reading. So Arman, if you can do this, like I know you have like wealth readings, but if you can do this one like spiritual business plus maybe a little bit of money in there, that'd be great as a reading. Therapists have always been a-holes to me. You have done more for me than therapy. You know, Krishna, it might be because you never needed therapy, you needed a life coach. I've heard this a lot. The thing is that a lot of high achieving, successful women, self aware Barbies need life coaching, but they don't know about life coaching and they think they need therapy. And so they go in therapy and then they expect their therapist to behave like a life coach. And therapists are not life coaches, right? Therapy and life coaching is very, very, very different. So, sometimes we're just kind of in the wrong container. I have a lot of clients that come and they're like, oh my God, Mina, I was stuck in therapy for 10 years expecting my therapist to turn into a life coach and she wouldn't. And then I found you and it was like, angels singing. I'm like, because you never needed therapy, or maybe you outgrew it at some point. I'm a nurse, but I've always had this strong feeling that I will have my own business in the near future, praying it will be revealed to me soon. So my theory is that nurses were like a part of the oversoul of women that got burnt at the stake as like witches, and they keep reincarnating, wanting to have like sovereignty and personal power and basic human rights to practice what they want to practice, which is to heal people, but they keep getting stuck in the paradigms of that time. And so a lot of nurses that have been born to heal, to, do their sacred arts, keep getting stuck in like really soul sucking kind of professions. Like, for example, my mom used to be a nurse, and she said it was like one of the hardest jobs she's ever had. She used to say that only women that love their children can be nurses. It's very tough. And then she went into like nursing for like elderly people, which she said was a little bit easier. She said that you only had one person cursing you out versus like a whole bunch at the same time. So I understand, right? Like it's because you think that that's like the only way to express your healing arts, but it's not the only way. Like you are have so much more that you can give using your expertise as a nurse. Like there's nothing wrong with having that expertise. It's about packaging it a little bit differently so that you're actually valued for what you bring and are able to heal in the way that you desire to heal instead of like in the very limited way that you're able to. After discovering you a year ago, I have gotten married, got a provider man, he bought me a house, started a YouTube channel, finally had lip filler, and so much more. Thank you so much. Oh my God, Frida, you have, it sounds like you had like 10 incarnations in 1 year. That you did all of that in 1 year. Congratulations, babe. Wow. Do you have some simple journal prompts for earning money as easy as breathing? Yes. So let me pull my journal. I know that the money ones, they're in both. I have invoke money invocations in the contained in love journal, but here are some good ones. Okay, so if you go to chapter 8, Wealthy Woman Era Begins, all the journal prompts chapter 8 onwards are going to be about like money manifestation and things like that in the Lady Balls journal. In the contained in love journal, there's invocations like money cord cutting, and like here's like on page 191, 21-day money cord cutting invocation is a great one. Okay, one recent mantra about a year and a half ago, I think I started saying it's not necessarily related to money, but I feel like it's helped me in so many ways, is that solutions are always available. So this is very simple, but I just like to say solutions are always available to me. Solutions are always available. And like this is so great from getting you out of problem consciousness into solution consciousness. And I haven't needed to apply it to money because I was like that was already a done deal in my life by the time I found this, but I've applied it to so many other areas of my life. Recently to my surgery that I had, I'm like solutions are always available. Solutions are always available to me. So that's a good one that you can use across the board, and it's my one of my recent ones that I've been using a lot. I am a nurse too, and now I am starting my spiritual business. Congratulations, Maria. My aunt is a nurse and got her Reiki certificates through her job. Beautiful. My mom did nurse and then nurse for elderly people after that too. Hard work, but then she stayed home with us and stopped working. Beautiful. Awesome. We've got a lot of nurses here. I think there's a reason that a lot of nurses are attracted towards my work. It's because I truly do believe that they came here to serve and heal. And something about my spiritual content reminds them of that. And that's why they're like, oh, there's more for me. There's more. I can feel it. Yep. There was a reason you went into nursing. You love people, you want to heal people, and you needed that expertise to kind of give you qualifications in the humanly realm. Now it's time for you to take that and do more with it. You're ready to go to your next level. Armand said, got to go for now. Happy I could check in. Bye, everyone. Love you. Love you too, babe. Bye. Okay, let me see what else you guys are saying. That is so interesting. So many nurses. Mina, you have healed my fear of money. I price however I want now. Because of you, I decided that I can be a gorgeous and happy CEO. Girl, yes. Of course you can. No questions. I love that. Oh, my manifesting video is coming. Christina said, do you have any suggestions for a manifester? I still understand how to generate wealth, unless I already need it for something. I am only generating the exact amount I need. I want to overflow. Yeah, so you guys, I know I recently did the generator video and I promised you guys I was going to do the manifestor video. I promise that is coming. In fact, Armand was just texting me about it the other day. It's definitely coming. You teach me all about feminine energy, and now I have the feminine energy mega training, and I'm loving it so much. Awesome, Maria. Were you able to take advantage of the 50% off offered in Davy? I hope you were able to take advantage of that. Yeah, that's a really great bundle. It's like a trainings bundle, not like a bundle of courses, but yeah. You are such a great author. You inspired me to buy a course in book writing. Awesome. Interesting. What would your book be about? Oh, awesome. She said yes, I manifested that. I love it. Love it when it's just perfectly aligned. Anything else coming up for you guys regarding the card opening for CEO Boss Queen or spiritual business mastery? What we're talking about here. Armand's email is in the description box as always for a reading. I'll throw it in the chat once again. And then for the CEO Boss Queen. Hi, Mina. I'm from Colombia. Send you lots of love. I'm trying to meditate every night in order to imagine myself helping women to reconnect with their menstrual cycle and earn and live from that. I love that. Are you meditating plus visualizing, or do you prefer one or the other? I love that for you. There's a lot of like healing energy also in Colombia, so I'm not surprised to hear that. It's kind of like in your culture, right? Yes, definitely we will be doing a video on manifestors. What is your favorite course for relationships? I think it would depend on what you need. I think all of my relationship courses bring a different energy. But like if you're dating, then modern dating and like divine union would be best. If you're kind of in a hot cold marriage, the 90-day relationship rehab would be best. If you are kind of wanting to take your marriage to the next level, then Conscious Couples, Million Dollar Man, or Divine Union will be also great. Million Dollar Man is the only course that we have that's meant is designed for couples to do together. My husband and I taught it together for that purpose. Is the CEO Boss Queen primarily around energetics of money and pricing for your work that you're putting up? So CEO Boss Queen has over 50 hours of training on all things related to business. So starting a business, scaling a business, energetics, physical components, clients, sales, sales copy, team, um, issues that arise, working with family members, how to market I mean, it takes you from nothing to six figures to seven figures to eight figures. So it's got everything, everything. Yeah. Oh, the robe. Yeah, I was gonna link it in the description box. Let me see if I can grab it for you guys right now. Because I was gonna wear a dress, so I put that in there, and then I didn't wear the dress. I was too lazy. I just wore the. I am going through a huge like lazy era in my life right now. Like I've never been like lazier than I feel right now. I don't know what is going on. I was saying this to Irfan the other day. I'm like, I think I'm having like my lazy girl era. Like that's the season of life that I'm in. I just feel super lazy all the time. This is like I've done the least amount of anything in my life era. Okay, here's the pink robe. I'm throwing it in the chat and I'll also update it in the description box because I'm actually not wearing that dress. What is that robe? It's that pink robe. It said dress, and you'd be like, what dress, Mina? You're literally wearing a robe. You know, I'd like never show on a live stream in a freaking dress, but I'm just telling you, I'm going through my lazy girl era right now. Like, I don't even wear makeup on most days. Like, I don't know what's getting into me. Yeah. I did a buddy read with a friend, and we read Lady Balls. We discussed so much and loved it. Oh my God, I love that, AB. So many of you guys have been saying that you read the book with your daughter or your mom. I'm just like, that brings me to tears because I literally, like, I dedicated the book to, it says to 7 generations back and 7 generations forward for Sheena and for Alina, for us, right? So, like, the fact that you're reading it with your mom and your daughter, like, and your friends, like, oh my God. Yeah, a lot of you guys read it with your mom, your daughter, your sister, your friend. I love that. Can you share your skincare routine? I will. I am planning on adding that to one of my get ready with you, but the reason my skin looks better right now is because I've been eating carnivore. Every time I'm eating on point, my energy levels go up, my skin looks amazing. Like it's just like a whole different level of like superhumanness for me. So yeah. My like tone, like I've been working out. Like I used to work out for like 20, 25 minutes a day, like 4 or 5 days a week. I've been working out for an hour and a half, and sometimes I'll work out an hour and a half in the morning and like still want to like run like or not run, walk like 3 miles in the evening. So my energy levels have been through the roof. But and like skin is usually another way you can tell. That's how you know I'm eating good. My energy is good, my skin is good, but I do have a really great skincare routine as well. And the funny thing is most of the products I use are drugstore only because I tried the really expensive ones and they just don't do anything for me. I already have pretty amazing skin. I feel like I've always had great skin. So the expensive ones just don't do anything, but like I see a noticeable difference from the drugstore stuff. Lady Balls will definitely be my book club choice. Yay! Mina, I'm in my lazy girl era also. I'm working out like a maniac, lazy where, yeah, when I say lazy girl era, I think a lot of people think lazy means like lack of energy. Lazy as in like I'm doing like the least number of like work, like that would most consider would people would consider work. Now, I was having this conversation with my friend yesterday and she was like, "Yeah, bitch, because you have a whole freaking team to do everything." And I was like, yeah, I know, like, I know, right? Like, yes, I do have a team doing everything. Yes, I get it. But even with a team doing everything, I always was like, let me do this, let me do that. And right now, like if I'm being honest, like all I do is like work out and shop with Alina. Like I'm like shopping every single day. There's like packages coming to the house every single day. I'm just having so much fun. We're shopping in person, we're shopping online. I've been watching like get ready with me videos, which is making me want to do get ready with me videos. And like Alina's like, maybe you're activating like a whole different era and like you're in the transition period. So what I want to do right now is like hauls and get ready with me videos and things like that. So I want to do more vlogs and just showing you like my actual lifestyle. So when I say lazy, I don't mean like lethargic. Like I have a lot of energy to go shopping and work out, but I'm not like you guys see it barely on YouTube. I'm barely on any social media. Like I'm not like working, if that makes sense. That's why I'm like, I feel like this is my lazy girl era. But obviously, yes, I do have a lot of automations. I have a fantastic team. So yes. Yeah, my friend was like, yeah, bitch, you have a team. She's like, the rest of us out here don't have a team. I'm like, I know, I know. That's not what I meant. I'm conserving energy, yeah, for shopping and working out. Yes. Ooh, okay, I have not seen that. Someone said lazy for me means Marilyn Monroe famous last clip. Look it up. It's so sassy and fun. Now I need to see that. Okay, I will look that up right after this. My human design course is called, I think it's called human design, but let me look it up. When you have over 80 courses, you forget the name sometimes. This is probably the most uncreative name I've ever had. Oh no, okay, it's called Divine Feminine Human Design. I had it saved in Bitly as the Human Design course, and I'm like, Mina, this is so lazy. Human Design. It's called Divine Feminine Human Design. Now, this is for you to learn. I also have a course that Armand was actually a student in, and so was my son Ayan, on how to start a human design coaching business. What was the name for that? I do not remember the name. Yes, uh, Quantum Self Readings Intensive. Here's the how to read, how to do readings. Quantum Self Readings. And you'll hear my sons in they were students in that course, which is so fun, isn't it? Oh my God, I'm so lucky. Yeah, it was just so special to have them as students in there. Mina, do you do high fat? No, if you are Southeast Asian, you cannot do high fat on carnivore. Southeast Asians process fat as carbs. It A better way of saying this is that Southeast Asian bodies have a very high insulin response to fat, just as much as with carbs. And this is unique to Southeast Asians. So if you're Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, high fat carnivore might be a little harder for you unless you're coming off of the vegan diet. Then you might need to do high fat for a little bit to heal, and then you can go into it. So no, I cannot do high fat. It will spike my insulin. I do uh moderate protein, like high protein, low fat. Like not low fat, but like moderate fat. Yeah. No, I'm just gonna do everything on one channel for now. I'm too lazy to have two channels. Like I don't like I'm not on social media anywhere anymore. So I just have my team running everything. So the only thing that's actually ran by me is this YouTube channel, and I just want to keep it easy. Yeah. Ladies, I'm gonna let you guys go. I think this was nice, hanging out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go finish up my Get Ready With Me vlog. I have all the clips. I just need to like put it together so that I can get that out there for you guys on this weekend. I have shopping plans with my children this weekend, so I want to get that like scheduled up for you guys. And I'll probably be live two more times talking about the CEO Boss Queen and like doing free like trainings on that. So that's happening. Make sure you're on my email list. I'm sending out fire emails for the relaunch of CEO Boss Queen as always. So one email already went out this morning. That's how you knew about this live stream. And there's going to be more going out this weekend. So love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Yes, oh my God, LA event is happening in like 10 days. Can you guys believe it? Yes, I know. By the way, this Tuesday, the card for Budapest in Europe, our Europe intensive opens for university bundle students on Tuesday and for everyone else on Wednesday. So those of you guys waiting for Europe, literally in a few days, that cart is opening. So super excited. All right, babes. Love you. Bye. Okay. Bye bye.